Really don't understand what's the metrics of what determines a game's success or not. Because you have some games that just barely sell a million copies, and they'll consider it a success. Stellar Blade is, of course, one of those games. The game barely sold like a couple million copies. Like, there are games that have sold way more millions of copies that are considered failures, like Monster Hunter Wilds. That game is actually considered a failure. Maybe Capcom was expecting the game to sell 40 million copies, but sorry, but Gamers Boobs couldn't sell 40 million copies. But we're told time and time again that that's what gamers want. But Stellar Blade is one of the strangest games of all time. Okay, maybe not strangest games, but in terms of its popularity, okay, and its fan base, okay. Literally, 90% of the Stellar Blade fan base likes the game because of this. Yep, that's the whole reason. Okay, but apparently, we're getting more Stellar Blade. Yeah, I'm sure no one asked for more Stellar Blade outside of gooners and weird people who are obsessed with Eve and thinks she's the waifu or something, some weird thing as well. But yeah. I wonder what happens if they make a Stellar Blade 2. Stellar Blade 2 to make the main character man in 90% of the game, and the game just fails because they'll be calling the game like woke or something as well. Okay, or heck, they'll make they'll give the character make a new character with slightly smaller boobs, and they'll call the game woke and say that the game is woke or garbage or something like that. When 90% of people don't care about that stuff outside of weird people as well. But again, success is really determined by a game's budget as well. Yeah. And apparently Stellar Blade probably didn't have a big budget because the game only sold a couple million copies and they're making a sequel to it. Kind of like Xenoblade games. Xenoblade games, I don't think have ever passed 2 million copies. I think Xenoblade 2 did, but Xenoblade games never have really passed 2 million copies, and they're still making Xenoblade games. As well, same thing with Metroid. Only Metroid Dread is the first Metroid game probably in history to ever pass 2 million copies sold, which for an IP that's legendary as Metroid is actually kind of weird as well. But yeah, unfortunately, getting a Stellar Blade 2, yeah, I'm not too excited for it. I didn't even play the first game, and I'm not going to play the second game, okay, as well. But what it shows you that SWZs, they can somehow convince millions of people to buy a mediocre game and try to claim it's one of the greatest games of all time, even though most of them are mostly thirsting over the main character, not actually playing the game as well. And yeah, there we go about the video here, and goodbye. And yeah, I just want to find that all the SWDs were pissed off that Stellar Blade wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. Sorry, but a fictional character being sexy does not warrant being nominated for Game of the Year. That's not how it works, SWDs. Goodbye.